Panthers shut down rumours of Nathan Cleary playing in the UK Super League. Now, there's been a crazy rumour during the rounds that the Panthers superstar Nathan Cleary was considering taking a year off from the NRL to play in the UK Super League. It would allow him to be closer to his partner, Matilda's superstar Mary Fowler, who was at Manchester City. We checked it out. This is we as in being the Daily Telegraph and Bus Rodfield. Panthers boss Brian Fletcher and Cleary's manager George Mimas, just in case, both insist it has never been mentioned.
No, it's a good story, though.
Yeah.
I would do everything for love, but I wouldn't do that. That's what... Is that Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not yet, anyway.
Just
what if he does 4 in a row?
What's her commitment over there?
That'll be a tourist question.
What do you mean in terms of what's her contract is?
No,
how
just
many
as far
games?
as like if their worlds are colliding.
Oh, when does her season? When
Yeah,
does her season on?
what would her commitment
It's
be?
week 1 of the WSL right now. So the next 24 weeks from now, it's
Okay,
it's the season. So it's kind of perfectly
20,
timed.
24 weeks.
Well, it's 22 weeks, but there'll be some buys and there'll be
Yeah, but
international
it's far
rounds.
bigger commitment than what we currently have for the NRLW.
There's 22 game weeks
Yeah.
in the,
Okay.
in the
And you're saying week 1 was this week?
this week in the WSL.
Oh, well, she's got all next. She's fine.
Perfect
yeah.
timing. He goes over. He gets to visit her now. and-
Correct.
yeah, perfect.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's hogwash.
Okay, just on that, right? So say they, as I mentioned last week, this Panthers side, it is quite remarkable, right? So you know when Winks was coming through and people wanted Winks to get beaten, but then when Winks kept winning, you kind of go, we're actually part of the history of this now. You want them to keep winning. The Penrith Panthers are looking to be in their 5th straight grand final. It hasn't happened since the South Sydney side of 67 through to 71. So you kind of want to go, we're part of that. If they do make the next grand final, and if Nathan Cleary picked up a 3rd Clive Churchill, there's been over 10,000 debutants. There's been over 10,000 NRL players, or New South Wales Rugby League players, or first-grade players, shall we say. Is he the GOAT?
We discussed this the other week, didn't we? Were we talking about this?
I wasn't here when you discussed it.
He certainly Clubland. I think he'll be the first to admit he hasn't really dominated Origin
Yet.
yet.
He's a baby.
27.
Just a shout out to, I know they've been rolled. What a player Daly Cherry Evans is.
Yeah.
What a serious player. He just turns up every week with a massive game. He was awesome again.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
He was awesome the week before. He's a gun.
and
He's 35, nearly 36.
Yeah, 36. No, he's terrific.
Interesting to see what Mal does, isn't it?
Well, you can't drop Teddy. Mal's come out and said that. Mal said, "Look, as he was our captain, and I'll have to look into it." But Teddy's been. If they win this weekend, and he goes on and maybe he gets a Clive, you got to have him there.
Mate, if the Roosters win through, he's got to be their favourite for the Clive.
Yep.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Who else would you put in front of him?
The
It's
chalk.
him. Yeah.
Mm.
He's the pick.
Unless Joey goes berserk or Kiri goes berserk.
The Centers never won the Clive.
No,
Ever.
you've told us that.
Yeah.
But that's this could be the year it changes.
Who's the Storm number 1 seed for the Clive?
I would say Jerome.
Yep.
Then Harold,
Panthers, Cleary.
Cleary, Edwards, Isaiah Yo.
Yep. And then the other Sharkies.
Sharkies. Ooh.
You know,
Trindle?
Bubba Kennedy.
Bubba Kennedy. Ooh. Okay.
Bubba Kennedy.
Dreams are free. Anything can happen. 1300 01 1170. Reagan Campbell-Gillard. Now, he left early from the Panthers to go to Parramatta. Reagan Campbell-Gillard, according to 9, Wild Water Sports, has been linked with the Gold Coast Titans on a multi-year deal. Campbell-Gillard was granted a release from the final year of his Parramatta contract. I was up there during the week, boys. He's been linked with the Bulldogs, Broncos and Dolphins. I was up there during the week and I spoke to an Uber driver. I said, are
As you do.
are they ever going to make it work here? He said, mate, the population's like 300,000 or 400,000. We've got all these sporting teams. I want to ask this question. If the Perth Bears are locked and loaded, if PNG are locked and loaded, so therefore if we want a 20th team, it's out of Queensland or it's out of New Zealand. Does it not make sense to think about the relocation of the Gold Coast?
We've been talking about this. You're right. They've never aimed up in any sport. Is it because it's...
But I'm saying instead of having another
no.
Queensland team, why don't you move the Titans to Central Queensland Titans?
No, because I think they're embedded now. I think
Are
they're
they?
embedded.
Are they embedded?
Well, they're embedded in the competition. I know they haven't won anything yet. There's got to be a team there. Has to be a team there.
Why?
Well, AFL got a team there.
Yeah, but how are they going?
Yeah, terrible.
So why does there have to be a team there?
I just think there has to be a team on the Gold Coast. I really do.
The composite of the AFL time there, the NRL time there, does there have to be a team on the Gold Coast? Does there have to be?
I believe there has to be a team there.
As opposed to the big gap which is between either Western Brisbane, or the Broncos all the way up to North Queensland.
But we still need to get to 20. Where's your other teams going to come?
What I'm saying is I think we need we need a second New Zealand side is what I think. I think we need a second New Zealand side. It seems like we're locked and loaded in Perth. PNG locked and loaded. The gap between Brisbane and North Queensland, which is all that rugby league community, the gap between which I understand Brisbane and Sydney is less than Brisbane and Townsville. So why have we not got something in Central Queensland is what I'm saying.
I just think you don't want
You look at Newcastle. You look at Newcastle and what they are heartland rugby league.
Yeah.
You can replicate that in Central Queensland is what I'm thinking.
Well,
the Gold Coast have fired in AFL and rugby league, not fired a shot.
No, let's put it out to the listeners. If you're from the Gold Coast, would you be happy? Do you think it's time? I believe that we've got to have a team on the Gold Coast. We've got to persevere. Got to persevere.
Well, if you're from Central Queensland or you're from the Gold Coast, let us know. Or does PNG become that Cairns team? Does that fill the solution? I don't know.
We always hear about there's like thousands and thousands of people every year migrating to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I get that.
And I just feel that once they do become successful. Remember when Cardi got in there? They won 2010. They were one game away from the grand final. It was a full house up there.
Yeah, that was Princey 2008.
2008 was it?
Yeah, Matty Rogers,
2010.
Lukey Bailey. Well, it might have been 2010.
I think they played the Chooks in that preliminary, and then they Chooks went through.
Yeah, and then in hindsight, Holbrook did a good job with them. He got them to the finals, didn't he?
Yeah.
So anyway, but to make the finals in the National Rugby League, it's hardly overachieving. You've got to make about top 50%. Whoop-de-bloody-do. Broncos Reece Walsh set to sign a $4.4 million contract. That's through Nine Wild Sports. He's set to become a free agent in November, according to Nine. Neil Breen has suggested that he's agreed to a 4-year, $4.4 million deal. Remember he said that, remember that Reece said, it was reported something like this similar at the start of the year, and he said, I haven't signed anything.
No, he came out.
Is that a good deal?
I think it's a great deal for the Broncos.
If it happens, yes.
Is it not official?
It's reported.
Okay.
No official statement from the Broncos yet.
No, I feel that is a good deal. He's 21, 22. We've seen what he's done.
Yep.
Not his greatest year this year, but everyone was coming for him.
Yep.
You know, he was, after that season last year, I just think what he's got, not only off the field, but he can play.
Yeah, of course he can.
He can play.
Yeah.
So I think if they can get him for $1 million in 5 years' time, we'll be going, you got him cheap.
And plus, you know, the reason that all those fans turn up at their training, he's 90% of the reason for that.
Correct.
So he's a crowd puller. He's a big ticket item. There's no
Hang
doubt about that.
on, Puller. The mystery man says the Sharks' efforts on the weekend have proven they are the ones that need to be relocated. Ooh. Obviously talking about the crowds.
Protest, tourists, protest.
Don't do that.
All tickets, protest.
Okay, I saw this firsthand, and having living down in the Shire, a lot of my friends, my family were trying to get to the game. And they had the G train set up for that.
Yeah.
Right?
What happened?
The strike. Did you not hear about the strike?
No.
So all the train drivers, tools down. There was 2 trains waiting at Cronulla Station, and people are going, what's going on?
Yeah, no excuse.
They wouldn't leave.
No excuse.
They wouldn't leave. There was, 18,000 people
Get on the
there.
bus.
It was,
If you're a fan and you want to
Brian,
get I tell you what, the Roosters sold it out. Roosters and Manly sold out.
one of my daughters had to drive to Padstow on a different train line just to get to the ground.
So be it. So be it. If
Yeah.
you want to be
Yeah, but
a true fan, you make the time and you make no excuses.
Well, the Roosters played Manly for a starter on a Saturday.
Yeah.
There were no public transport. If you were actually, you know what? Call now 1300-01-1170. If you're a Sharks fan and you had intention to get to the game, but you couldn't because of the shit show that it was.
We don't give up. You don't give up. You just keep going. Like all those Roosters fans, they got in their working class utes.
Yep.
And they drove to Allianz.
Just on that, Brian. They don't give up Cronulla, but this game, I think, personally, the Panthers and the Sharks, I personally think it should be at Allianz.
Why is that?
Because what you saw with the Roosters and Manly,
Yep.
did it come through on the TV pictures?
Came through loud and clear.
And the DJ there's magnificent. It was
The sound system's very good.
Oh, it's so good. So what is the crowd? What would you say the crowd will be at Accor?
Yeah, I'm going to say 35.
So if it's 35 at Accor,
Yeah,
why
I know.
are we not at this shiny new toy?
Because it's a bit closer to the Panthers.
No, but that's irrelevant. That's not part of the terms.
I don't know. Maybe it's all already organised. Not too sure.
But the other thing is supply and demand. If you're at Allianz, if you're at Accor, there's no rush to buy tickets. You know it's not going to sell out. If you're at Allianz, you know there's a potential like Roosters and Manly can sell out. So there is a urge to go and get your tickets sorted. I can't believe we're not there. I really can't believe that.
Yeah, I thought there'd be more than 20,000 for the Friday night game.
I'll explain why.
No, I don't believe that.
1300 01 1170.